So a couple years ago, I went with a friend of mine to China. We went to kind of get away from our lives, and China seemed like an awesome place to go. And we got hooked up with a tour guide there. Our first day, her name was May. May was 35 years old, and she had a 5-year-old little girl at home. We had been told prior to going to China, my friend and I, that you are not allowed to talk about religion at all when you're in China. So we're driving in the little minivan on the way to the Great Wall because we were going to hike the Great Wall that day. And May found out we were from Utah. And all the way over, even in Beijing, China, when she found out we were from Utah, what do you think was the first question she asked? Seriously, even in Beijing, she said, "Are you Mormon?" And I didn't know what to say because we had been told not to talk about the church. So I just kind of went, mm-hmm. And May said, "What do Mormons believe?" And Aaron, who obviously had not gotten the memo not to talk about the gospel in China, said, "Oh, you know, we're like all Christian faiths. We believe that we're all children of God." And May, who was 35 years old and had a 5-year-old little girl at home, said, "Child of God?" And the timing couldn't have been worse. As soon as she asked the question, we got driven up to the place where they let you out to go hike the Great Wall of China. And that's exactly what Aaron and I did all day long. By the way, it's called Great for a reason. Thought we were going to die. So we go and hike the Great Wall. And I kind of forget about our experience that day. And that night we end up at a restaurant in downtown Beijing with May. And we're eating Peking duck and squid tentacles, which, just so you know, taste just like gummy worms without sugar. And I do not know why you would eat those, but we were eating them because we were trying to be polite. And I got that feeling, you know that feeling you get right before you know you're supposed to bear your testimony? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So I got that feeling. But I'm in Beijing at dinner in a country where I'm not supposed to talk about the church. So I get the feeling, and I just kind of remember going, "Oh, no, we're not doing that here, but thank you." And I just kept eating. And we kept talking to May. And a few minutes later, I got that feeling even stronger. And it was really strong this time. And I tried so hard to resist the spirit, but I could tell that wasn't going to work. So I said, "May, you know earlier when you found out we were from Utah and you asked us if we were," and she said, "Mormon?" "Yes, that." I said, "When Aaron told you that we believe that we're all children of God, had you ever heard that before?" And May, who was 35 years old, college educated in Beijing, and had a 5-year-old little girl, said, "I do not know what that means." And I have to tell you, girls, I was shocked. I had served a mission in California, and I had met a lot of people who had chosen not to believe in God. And I knew that people on the planet existed who had never heard of God. I had just never met one. And as sad as I was for May, I was even more sad for May's little girl. Because I knew that by the time I was 5, I had already had a career's worth of singing, "I am a child of God." And I have very vivid memories of my mom rocking me in our old black vinyl rocking chair when I would be sad or scared, and she would sing "I am a child of God" to me. And I realized May's little girl had never heard that song, and as of right now, never would, because her mom didn't know the song. I spent the next 2 weeks driving around China, and every time I saw a teenage girl, I wanted to jump out of the minivan, and I wanted to run up to her and grab her by the shoulders and give her a pink poster and say, Do you know you're a daughter of your heavenly Father who loves you? And oh, by the way, you love him? Do you know that?" Girls, there are literally millions and billions of teenage girls living on this planet right now who do not know that super basic statement you just wrote in your journal. That thing you say every single Sunday and sometimes on activity night that you could say in your sleep and hanging upside down and in a different language if you wanted to because you say it so much. There are girls who have never, ever heard that before. Ever.